Do you sometimes feel like nobody can see you? You're being overlooked, or if you're needing to develop your own client base, you feel a little bit out of your depth and you're constantly trying to get out there and be seen. Well, that's a common problem that we all have to work through. And this week, stick with me because I'm going to help you and we're going to start a journey so that you are the only one that they do see. Hi, this is Herbert, leadership and sustainable performance coach, and today I want to continue our conversation around the 9 crucial shifts that every leader needs to make in this volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous marketplace that we're leading in, by helping you to go from being invisible to in demand. Last month, we finished off talking about your performance and going to a place where you are more sustainable and avoid burnout. So we're going to shift gears this month, and the whole conversation is going to be around helping you to be seen. Now, there's 2 ways that you can look at this, depending on what your situation is. So firstly, if you are employed by someone else, then this is about being seen in that organization. It's about being recognized in your career path. However, on top of that, if you are someone that actually needs to hunt and gather and bring in a client base, then this is also going to help you to be able to attract and retain clients that are a best fit for you and your organization. No matter what profession or industry you're working in, there are a lot of people that do what you do. And therefore, there's a big pool that people can choose from. Sometimes you can get missed out, and other times you can be seen, but for the wrong reasons. And I know for me, this has been a journey. When I first started doing the work that I am doing now, when I left the corporate world about 15 years ago, I tried to invent or reinvent myself so that people now looked at me in a different way. They looked at me and thought of different skills and different ways that I could help them. However, along that journey, I did what a lot of people do, just like me, and I confused my marketplace. I remember once someone saying to me, Grant, I know whatever you do is fantastic because it always is. But can you tell me, what do you do? And it was a wake-up call for me because it meant that I was confusing everybody as to what I did. This led also to people pigeonholing me, and they thought they knew what I did and what I stood for and what I could help them with based on the limited interaction that they'd had with me around one particular area. Also, as I evolved in my practice, I shifted gears. I niched into other areas, and I went from being very general to being more niched and being noticed and seen as being a thought leader in a particular area. So that journey is still ongoing. And it's been some shifts and some changes that I've learned along the way, and I'm going to share those with you over this month. We're going to look at how you can put yourself out there to be seen, but not just as an influencer like someone on Instagram who gets all these vanity likes and all that sort of stuff, but get seen by the right people at the right time to give you the best opportunities that are out there. As I said, there are a lot of people that do what you do, and unfortunately, both internally and externally, sometimes people look at what you do and they think, oh, everyone's the same. So therefore, if it's a lawyer, for example, the marketplace goes, well, this is what I think a lawyer is and what a lawyer does, and therefore they're all the same. So it doesn't matter which one I go to, I'm going to get the same result. And you know, and I know, whether you're a lawyer or in some other profession, that that's not the case. That there are not only different disciplines within law, there are also different ways of going about things. So this is about being able to come up out of the day-to-day working in your practice and working on it. Now, I know that a lot of people don't like this part of what they do. And it's because of those identity issues we've talked about before, where it's not what they're doing or what is happening, it's what they make it mean about themselves, based on, a lot of times, the external opinions and rhetoric that they've been listening to. So, in the case of sales, we do things like call it business development, because that sounds a little less salesy. Because I don't want to be seen as a salesperson, because I have a perception of what that means, and therefore so do the people that I'm dealing with, and therefore they'll think this about me, and they might not like me or think that I'm good enough or think that I belong. So you can see how, once again, as we go into this shift number 5, the identity and the intelligence areas really come in as the foundation. So what's this shift all about? As I said, it's about going from invisible to in demand. Now, what I'm not saying here is in demand in the sense of you're going to have more people that want a piece of you. No. What it means is you go from being seen as a generalist and like everybody else to being a thought leader, to being someone that stands out and is known for knowing something. So over the weeks to come, we're going to look at things that will help you to do that. We're going to get clear on who it is that you want to be seen by. And we're going to look at why behaving and thinking in certain ways is going to help that. We're going to look at what you need to do to be able to be seen by those people at the right time to get those opportunities. We're going to work on your messaging. As I said, that was my challenge. You know, people obviously liked me and what I was doing, and I have always been quite successful in most things that I do, but they didn't know quite what I did, or they misrepresented what I did when I was talking to someone else about it because they thought that this is what I did. And that was because of the message that I had. It was conflicting and confusing. I knew in my head what I wanted to say or what I wanted to be seen as doing, but getting it out there was not done in the way that was going to help that. We're going to look at ways that you can be seen as being different, not better, because better is a judgment word. And we're not going to be looking at competing with others. We're going to be looking at how do you work on you and portray you so that whether it's in your career, as I said, in your organization and or working externally with the clients that you want to attract, you're going to be able to go above what others are doing and be seen without being too concerned about what they're doing. Now, I confused myself a little bit as I said all that, so hopefully you got the message that I wanted to get across. So starting next week, we're going to be looking at how you can work out what your message is and who it needs to go to. We're going to look at who are your perfect fit people that you want to attract, and how to speak in a language that's going to attract them. You see, marketing, and yes, every single one of us are marketing our own personal brand. You know, people don't buy from organizations. People don't look at recruitment companies. They look at the individuals when they're choosing who they want to work with. So it's about your personal brand. And yes, you do need to market yourself. And as I said already, it's not about your Instagram profile. We're not going to be working on that. But what we're going to be able to do is work out, well, what is it that I know? What is it that I stand for? And who needs to know that? So join me as we go on this conversation this month. We're going to be looking, as I said, at this shift of your positioning and helping you to go from invisible to in demand on your terms. I'll see you next week.